All right, I should be louder now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you inside Dan Maddox Gymnasium in Phoenix, Arizona, on the campus of Sunnyslope High School. We've got the Sunnyslope Vikings hosting the Millennium Tigers tonight right here in a hoop game of the week, coming your way live here on the Epic Sports Network. James Spoovy joined tonight by my very special broadcast partner, Coach Bob Fredericks, seven-time state champion over at Scottsdale Christian High School. We're going to step aside here briefly and let our public address announcer take over as he is going to have the introductions for tonight's contest.
Now with head coach Ty Amundsen, assistants Kyle Anderson, T.G. Rivera, and Jay Shelley. Here's the starting lineup for the Millennium Tigers. 6'1" sophomore, number 0, Adrian Higuera. 6'2" senior, number 2, Quincy Everson. 6'6" junior, number 3, Cameron Holmes. 5'9" senior, number 5, J.T. Amundsen. And 6'8" senior, number 24, Kingston Tosi. Now with head coach Ray Bortella, assistants Guillermo Diaz, Andy Foster, Dan Maddox, and Eric Perry. Here's the starting lineup for your Sunnyslope Vikings. White 11 sophomore, number 3, Delton Prescott. 6'6" junior, number 15, Ryder Portella. 6'10" sophomore, number 21, Darius Wellington. 6'7" junior, number 23, Ash Armley. And 6'6" senior, number 25, Owen Hillis.
So we've got the starting lineups, as you heard just a moment ago from our public address announcer inside Dan Maddox Gymnasium. James Spoovy coming to you live here alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Bob Fredericks. Coach, your thoughts on what should be a great game tonight. I'm so glad you're with me here on this game call this evening. And funny enough, Coach, this is where we called our first game together ever, was inside this very gymnasium.
Been in there calling games with you and played a few games in there myself when I was coaching. So I have fond memories of that gym. It's a common gym in Arizona, a lot of summer league games there. And when I coached, played Sunnyslope in their gym at that time. And the namesake Dan Maddox was coaching.
So we're underway here inside Dan Maddox Gymnasium. The Sunnyslope Vikings hosting the Millennium Tigers tonight. The Sunnyslope Vikings won the tip, and then it looks like they turned it over there. Didn't see exactly what happened, but the all-star for Millennium, Cameron Holmes, will inbound it.
Speaking of all-stars, both teams are pretty loaded with talent. Sunnyslope's a little on the young slide, but both teams figure prominently in 6A and the Open probably.
Shot attempt won't fall there for Millennium, and now Sunnyslope will bring it the other way. They lose the handle for a moment, and it looks like it'll be an over and back situation. Once again, it'll be Millennium Tigers basketball. Coach, you mentioned you have a bit of history with Coach Ty Amundsen there with the Millennium Tigers. Tell us a little bit about this this outstanding coach there for the Tigers, and he's done great things out there in Goodyear.
He's done a lot of things at a lot of levels. He was at Estrella for a while, at St. Mary's for a while, at Millennium. Always develops talent, puts together a good program, produced a number of Division I players. Started with Hershey Hawkins' sons out at Estrella. We had some great games. Beat me one time on a buzzer beater at home. Good coach. His teams usually get out on the break a lot. They shoot the three well. just play very fast-paced, entertaining basketball.
Darius Wobbington in the paint there for Sunnyslope, comes up empty, rebounded by Cameron Holmes. We remain scoreless here just inside our first quarter of action, and now a right wing triple.
Beautiful
courtesy
shot.
of Amundsen.
Beautiful shot. Fundamentally sound player. Plants that left foot, has that elbow in, follows through. Just the way Daddy taught him.
Now the Vikings will work the perimeter. They go cross court now. Nash Parmalee tries a triple. It goes off back iron and rebounded there by number 24, Kingston Tosi. He'll bring it up now for Millennium. Working the baseline there, JT Amundsen loses the handle. Ryder Portella gets a hold of it. Sunnyslope's going to take it all the way up and in. And that was Delton Prescott.
I think
Scoring
both
that
teams
for Sunnyslope, 3-2. The visiting Tigers on top here.
both teams are going to want to limit those turnovers and points off transition after turning the ball over. So got to clean that up a little bit.
From the corner, a triple for JT Amundsen.
He's
And
off
the
to a nice
Tigers
start.
up 6-2 now.
Good ball movement. Ball went from one corner of the floor across the top to the other corner of the floor. Hard for the defense to make the adjustment.
And Bob, if you look in the upper left portion of your screen, you'll see the Dean of Arizona High School Sports. You know it's a big ball game when he is in the building, and Kevin McCabe joining the party here tonight for some great 6A basketball. This is going to be a fun one.
Yep, that is true, but he's kind of ubiquitous. He's everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if he says 2 games at one time.
I've seen him do a game for a half and then take off, go cross town, and catch the other half of another one. So no doubt, no accident why they call him the Dean of Arizona High School Sports. And speaking of deans, the newly named, or newly appointed, I guess I would say, director of the AIA is now Mr. Jim Dean, former Scottsdale Christian Academy Eagle, right?
He goes from backup point guard on my first team in the center of my 1-3-1 trap to be the head of all Arizona high school athletics. What do you know? I was telling my wife that at dinner tonight.
Congratulations. Off the window, Ryder Portella takes it up and in and scores it for the Vikings.
And
they now trail the Tigers 6-4 here. We're under 5 minutes to play in our first quarter.
Dr. Jim Dean at the AIA, now the head honcho over there. His dad hired me at Scottsdale Christian as a basketball coach.
No kidding.
RAD. Jim Dean at that time was our head football coach.
JT Amundsen for 3. And Amundsen hits it there from the left wing.
Again, I love his shot. He always steps into it with the correct foot, the right foot for a right-handed player, using that left foot as the pivot. But it also came off of ball movement. Just very good team basketball there.
Cade Snyder moves it around. Now they get it over to Darius Wobbington. Wobbington up against 2 defenders from Millennium. He'll turn and finish with a nice hook shot.
They're in there like 3 out, 2 in look. Both inside kids were posting up strong, almost a lost art in a lot of high school basketball, but not in Coach Portella's program. And he finishes with a beautiful baby jump hook to the right, half pivot on his left foot.
Penalty assessed to Sunnyslope. And Bob, you got to say, pretty amazing picture here provided by the fine folks at Huddle this evening, allowing us to call this game remotely right now. We're both at our homes, and but honestly, it feels like we're at the gym watching the game.
It does. It's clear as a bell. Technology is great, and the automated camera follows the action perfectly.
Far side triple attempt for JT Amundsen falls shy.
Coach Portella's psyched up about something there, barking at the ref. I don't know what the call was.
Coach Portella is usually fired up about something. He is passionate about the game of basketball like few others I have seen. And at the stripe now for Millennium, it'll be number 5, JT Amundsen. And, Coach, that brings up another point I wanted to talk with you about as I was getting prepared for this ball game tonight. No stats posted for either one of these ball clubs. What gives?
You know, I looked into that, and I didn't hear it from either of those coaches, but they were very good about sending us information and some stats. But some of the coaches I talked to told me less and less coaches are putting stats on Max Prep these days, and the only explanation I can think about it is people don't want to give away their tendencies and let people scout through stats. That was never a thing for me, but I know some coaches feel strongly about that. I
You know,
can't say that that's why theirs aren't on there, though.
it's interesting because, we always love to give the players the credit they deserve and be able to kind of, rattle off some of their numbers as they compete against each other. But unfortunately, we won't have any stats for you here this evening. So,
No, I actually have some stats that the coaches sent
okay,
us, so I think we're
okay.
going to be good.
All right, good.
But
We'll let you cover those as we
but
go here. Then.
yeah, I think that that's an issue. It's almost like it ought to be a mandated part, so everybody's on a level playing field, that you have to submit them.
Cade Snyder scoring on the other end for Sunnyslope. They trail 12-8 here, under 3 minutes to play here in our first quarter. James Poovey alongside my broadcast partner tonight, Coach Bob Fredericks. We're live here on the Epic Sports Network. A 3-point attempt from the left wing from Quincy Everson falls shy. And now Sunnyslope brings it down in a hurry through the lane, and it looks like a foul on the floor.
So in the early action, after an early turnover, I am very impressed with, as I guessed I would have been, knowing these two coaches, with fundamentals, floor spacing. They just play the game of basketball correctly. That leads to quality shots, but they also teach defense well, so something's got to give.
Inbound goes to Ryder Portella. He'll work at the top of the key now on the left wing for Sunnyslope. Delton Prescott had it for a moment. Now Christian Simmons. Now this is 15. Ryder Portella showing him how it's done. Breaking a couple ankles right there at the free throw line, Coach. And now this young man, you talked about it earlier, he's grown up around the game of basketball, and it shows on his play on the floor.
Yep, and Estrella, excuse me, I'm used to coaching against Taiwanese at Estrella Millennium, kind of made a mistake there on defense, got away with it, left their feet, but cleared the boards and got down on the break, opening up a 14-8 lead.
Ryder Portella now from the top of the key. Thought about a shot, gets inside, now gives way on the baseline to Darius Robington.
Call for a charge.
The player control foul is called on 21, Darius Robington, his first 13.
Robington, a sophomore, 6'10". As we see number 24, Cade Snyder, return to the lineup now for Sunnyslope.
So Sunnyslope
keeps hanging on right here and maintaining a pretty nice lead here so far as we approach the end of our first quarter.
Sunnyslope has been maintaining a top-notch quality program for a decade and a half now. And, they're not going anywhere. Their team is very young and right there in the thick of things.
Down low.
But great passing.
That was Alegria. Oh, that was Adrian Higuera.
Going to their 1-4 high set here. Let's see what they run out of it. Notice how the two posts popped opposite direction. One went to the high post, one went to the low post.
Dalton Prescott kicks it back outside now to Darius Robington, who with a soft touch puts it off the glass and scores it for the Vikings.
So player movement on that possession. Robinson starts high, goes down, establishes himself in the low post, pops out, and he's open for the three.
The triple attempt there for Cameron Holmes comes up short.
Christian Simmons returns for the Vikings.
Christian Simmons back in the lineup now for Sunnyslope.
James, it's almost better being at the game. Nobody's standing out in front of us or screaming to where we can't be heard. This is like the comfortable way to call a game.
This is pretty sweet, isn't it? I must say. Special shout out to the folks at Huddle as well as the folks at StreamYard for providing the technology to allow us to get this done here tonight. Good stuff as always. Always enjoy calling basketball with you, Coach, and learning. Every time I walk away from one of these game calls with you, I have learned so much more about the game.
Thank you.
Short attempt there from Ryder.
I think they might have been running short on the shot clock there because that was a bit of a force.
Quincy Everson through the traffic. It goes off the Vikings. It'll remain Tigers basketball. 17.3 seconds remaining here in our first quarter.
Interesting, the shot clocks are not on top of the backboard, so they're probably near the wall scoreboard, and we won't be able to see them. So that last shot by Sunnyslope seemed to be a force, but I think it was at the end of the shot clock, and that would be the reason.
We're going to take a brief commercial timeout and return for more 6A basketball here between Millennium and Sunnyslope. Right after the break, you're watching the Hoop Game of the Week right here on the Epic Sports Network. Stay with us.
On game day, communication is everything. Procom offers the most powerful, most reliable headsets on the market. Paired with our state-of-the-art coach-to-player communication tools, your team is sure to dominate. It's time to communicate like a pro. Visit us at procomheadsets.com.
We welcome you back to Dan Mannix Gymnasium here in Phoenix. We're live on the Epic Sports Network. James Spoovy alongside my broadcast partner, Coach Bob Fredericks. The Millennium Tigers leading the Sunnyslope Vikings 16-11 as Millennium will inbound it here just in the waning seconds of quarter number one.
Out of bounds, Vikings ball.
The Tigers turn it over right there. That was number 24, Kingston Tosi along the baseline, and looks like he just lost the handle there, Coach.
And Millennium had a chance to bleed the clock down with a lead and get the last shot, but not supposed to step on the baseline when you have the ball. So that's going to give the opportunity for the Vikings with a 3 to pull within 2 or get somewhat closer on any kind of a score.
Sunnyslope now looking at the last shot of quarter number one. Inside, up and in for Delton Prescott.
Okay, Delton Prescott there with the hesitation move. Attacked fast, backed off, and then blew by the defender. You work on that every day in open court drills.
As we expected, a close game here between Sunnyslope and Millennium. We'll take another brief commercial timeout and return for second quarter action. You're watching the Hoop Game of the Week right here on the Epic Sports Network. We'll be back with more right after this.
Have you had the craving for the best burrito anywhere? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Burrito Express, your local burrito joint. Come on in.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Burrito Express.
With 7 Valley locations and a new South Chandler location opening soon, your new favorite burrito is just right around the corner. Burrito Express, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona.
We've played 8 minutes of basketball inside Dan Mannix Gymnasium in Phoenix as we welcome you back here on the Epic Sports Network. James Spoovy coming to you live alongside my broadcast partner, Coach Bob Fredericks. Coach, your thoughts on a tight first quarter is pretty much what we expected here in this battle.
No surprise. 2 very well coached teams, great floor spacing, good passing, hitting the open man, moving both the ball and players inside out on offense. So they're efficient. Let's see if one defense can, as time goes on, impose its will on the other side, or see if we come up with any tricks in the bags of the coaches like traps or presses or changing defenses. I had that officiating crew out there. I had that officiating crew out there dozens and dozens of times in my basketball life, and they're a good crew. I never made it a point to make much of the officiating, so I've actually forgotten their names. I'm a bit embarrassed about that, but they do a nice job out there.
They always do. Here we go, a breakaway and a slam on the other end. Unfortunately, not correctly caught there by the huddle camera. That was.
It was so quick the camera couldn't move that fast. But you got to be careful with those passes across the top of the key. That's the most dangerous place because it's a layup or a dunk going the other way.
Ryder Portella now along the baseline. He'll give way on the outside to Delton Prescott. Now inside to Cade Snyder. They feed it down low to Wabbington. He comes up short, rebounded by the Tigers.
Millennium doing a good job there of collapsing the defense. So the post player believes he's got a nice little left-hand hook right away, but then he feels 3 bodies around him, and it's just enough to throw him off.
Tigers moving around. Higuera between the legs. He'll go inside. Kick it out to Quincy Everson. Everson now, top of the key. That one rattles around, falls off right edge. Rebounded by Nash Parmley. Ryder Portella now on the other end for Sunnyslope. Just inside our second quarter of action here from Dan Mannix Gymnasium in Phoenix.
Saw these 2 teams play early last year with some of the same personnel at Chaparral High School in a tournament.
Dalton Prescott, a bomb 3, comes up short. Rebounded nicely by Nash Parmley. And it's kicked out to Darius Wabbington for a 3.
You got to like Nash Parmley's unselfishness there. Had the ball inside. Usually you want to go back up after the rebound, but he had a player on between him and the basket, found the open man for the three. Great fan out.
From way downtown, that one comes up short. And Wabbington with a rebound. Up the floor now come the Vikings. Delton Prescott gives way in the corner there.
That was a no-look pass. He made it look like he was throwing it to the wing and got it to the corner.
Cade Snyder.
Look at the posting ability. Great. That is the product of coaching and repetition. Big post up. You don't see that a lot anymore, and a beautiful jump hook to the right side.
That was some gorgeous basketball right there, Coach. Wabbington able to finish ultimately for the Vikings. Millennium able to get an offensive rebound there. Cam Holmes back outside. Now they'll move it around from deep. It won't fall. And the Vikings will bring it back up the floor. Now we're tied at 18 apiece here. Just over 5 minutes remaining in our first half.
That was Wabbington with the jump hook, correct?
Yes.
So, Coach, and then he steps outside too, so he's a great inside-out player. I think one thing, an adjustment that Millennium might want to make is to sit on his left shoulder in the post so you make him turn to use the left-handed hook instead of the right.
Cameron Holmes with a follow attempt right there.
Look at
Higuera
this.
tried the layup but couldn't get it to fall.
Look at this. We're knotted up at 18.
Great one here for you from Sunnyslope High School. Cameron Holmes at the line now for Millennium.
Now, Millennium has the ability to score in bunches, and they could jump out to a lead, but you also have to consider is nobody builds a big lead on Sunnyslope at home usually. So this should be a good one all the way through.
No doubt about it, Coach. Cam Holmes has put the Tigers up 19-18 with another shot going here now, and he puts that one through as well. So a 2-point lead now as the Vikings bring the ball back up the floor. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Years ago, when Scottsdale Christian didn't have its own gym complete, we actually rented Sunnyslope's other gym before this one was finished as our home gym.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That one poked away along the near side. It'll stay with the Vikings.
I love their other gym. It's old school, like a dome kind of roof, and just has a great feel.
Delton
nice
Prescott
campus.
Now between the legs, working off of Wabbington screen. Back outside it goes now to Nash Parmley. And a little trouble with the rebound there. Cameron Holmes almost able to corral it, but just not quite able to get the mitts on it there.
It's interesting how the Sunnyslope bigs both like to shoot it from the perimeter, so they clearly post up well, but then they can step out too. That makes them dangerous players. But here's what's great about that. It also makes them marketable at the next level.
Up the floor now for the Tigers. Kingston Tosi, they move it around the horn. An open baseline now. All the way across comes Damian Castro. That was Quincy Everson, thought about a shot. Now inside goes JT Amundsen, high off the window. It falls off the front. Ryder Portela hustling for the rebound. And Ryder Portela will pick up the contact and the foul.
It's not as big as a deal anymore after the rule changes of 2 years ago when you foul in the backcourt. But 2 years ago, it probably would have been, by this time in the game, one team in the bonus. And certainly would drive me crazy when players would foul 70 feet from the basket where nobody but Magic Johnson can score.
Right.
But it's not an issue anymore because the fouls clear out like in the NBA now.
We got folks checking in with us, Coach, watching this game. Folks are cheering for Cade. I'm checking the YouTube comments right now. Let's go white, let's go white. That's how we play down the middle, she says. Let's
Great
go
back
Tigers.
cut.
We got some Tigers fans checking in as well. Great stuff.
Put that whole possession on the highlight film. Back cut, then shovel pass to a cutter down the lane. That's team basketball by the Vikings.
So now what I have to figure out next, Coach, is how to route this whole thing up so we can run some instant replays while we're calling the game. A little
going the other way on the
Delton
charge.
Prescott comes up short.
Nice job of taking the charge there by number 1, Mr. Castro for Millennium.
20-20 our score. 3:23 remaining here in our first half. So glad you joined us tonight on the Epic Sports Network. And, Coach, we're going to have to start doing this a little bit more often, I think. They move it around. Cam Holmes from the left wing. Nothing but net for Cam Holmes.
Got a high ball screen. Created enough space for him to get that off.
Off the glass, kissing it off the window is Christian Simmons for Sunnyslope.
My bank's not open this late at night, but apparently his is.
Some of these guys' banks open 24/7, Coach. Millennium moving it around the horn once again now. A short attempt there for J.T. Amundsen, rebounded there by Sunnyslope. Ryder Portello with an open look. Takes it all the way to the rim. Count the basket and the foul for Ryder Portello. He'll go to the stripe here for the Vikings.
Just a great job of change of directions by him, up just above the elbow there. Gets all the way to the hoop, protects the ball from the coming defender with his left arm and his left shoulder, gets it in, and he's going for the old-fashioned three-point play.
We'll see if Ryder can sink it right here. 6'6" junior. Barely moves the net right there, Coach.
Yep. I think Sunnyslope in a lot of their warm-up drills work on certain what we call offensive change of directions, which aren't always change of directions, because I've seen two great scores on change of pace, change of directions so far. So you know they're drilling on that while they're warming up almost every day.
Credit on the effort on the other end there from Damian Castro. Now
How about
Darius
that?
Robinson underneath the basket, score it for the Vikings. They lead it now 28-23 as we approach 2 minutes remaining here in our first half.
Love Darius's advanced footwork there. He uses the jump through move, rips the ball through, and finishes on the opposite side of the rim with the left hook.
J.T. Amundsen running the baseline there. He'll pick up some contact from a couple of guys in white jerseys, and Ryder Portello will pick up the foul.
You know, there's a lot of talented teams in Arizona, and who knows how deep these teams will go in either the Open or the 6A state title. But I can tell you this by watching the game. These are two coaches that teach the game well. Their kids are fundamentally sound. They play hard. And then team concepts like spacing are also outstanding.
You know, Coach, I haven't had a chance to make it back over to Millennium High School since they completed their brand new gymnasium. Have you been over there yet?
Nope, I have not. Don't get out that much to games as much as I used to.
It is something to behold, I've heard. I can't wait to get out there. We'll have to maybe make our way out there for a game maybe next season. That'd be fantastic. 1:48 remaining here in our first half. 28-23, Vikings on top right now.
It's amazing that we're only a few weeks away from February Frenzy and getting the state tournament started in Arizona.
Hard to believe this basketball season has truly flown by this year. Third foul of the night on Nash Parmley.
Probably not a foul. Coach Portello wanted that far away from the basket. And a third foul on a key player.
Cameron Holmes, the 6'6" junior, the younger brother of Deron Holmes, former Millennium Tiger, who was a star at Dayton University and is now a member of the Denver Nuggets.
Okay, that answers my question right there. At first, I thought Coach Portello was going to keep Nash in there with 3 fouls. I certainly wouldn't do that, not with a lead or really unless the game was getting away from me, and sure enough, he came out. Can't let him pick up a fourth here.
So we have a timeout on the floor, 1:43 remaining here in our first half. So we'll step aside and take that timeout with them. We're watching our Hoop Game of the Week right here on the Epic Sports Network. Stay with us. We'll be back after a brief commercial timeout with more second quarter action.
Every body is different. Some get injured while others wear down. At Ortho Arizona, your unique condition is at the center of what we do. With over 20 locations and 70 physicians in the Valley, we offer orthopedic procedures, therapy, and athletic performance for the most important reason of all, getting you back to an active, pain-free life. Ortho Arizona, your destination for quality orthopedic care since 1990.
We welcome you back to Dan Mannix Gymnasium here in Phoenix on the campus of Sunnyslope High School, home of the Vikings. 28-25 our score, Vikings leading by 3 with a minute 43 remaining here in our first half. James Poovey alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Bob Fredericks. Bob, what do the Tigers have to do right here to feel good about things going into the halftime break?
I actually think they just need to stay the course. They've gone a little bit cold. They're not breaking down in any way. Sunny Slope's on a bit of a run. One or two possessions, and we're right back to a tie game, or they're in the lead. So I don't think there's any reason to make any drastic changes. They might pull a surprise or two and try to sneak a turnover in the backcourt with a press or something like that.
So the Tigers will inbound right here. Or correction, it'll be the Vikings inbounding.
And here's the Tigers press. It's not as much of a surprise when it's off an inbound after a timeout.
Portella up the floor now. Wobington gives way there.
Now let's see if they drop out of the zone press to their man-to-man or stay in some kind of zone for the possession.
Simmons, double team there, loses the handle.
Looks like the press drops to a 3-2 zone, and now after the ball goes out of bounds, they may pick up man-to-man. Certainly appears like that's what they're doing. So 3 different defenses in one trip down the floor for Sunny Slope, showing them different looks.
Delton Prescott now with it for Sunny Slope. A minute 20 and counting here in the half. Ryder Portella. Back to Simmons. Simmons drops it down low to the waiting Darius Wobington. He'll score it for the Vikings.
Sunny Slope players so fundamentally sound, showing the target hand, the passer passing it away from the defender towards the target hand. That all is part of completing the play.
A left wing triple for Cameron Holmes.
Beautiful left-handed jump shooter. Look at this, 2-point game, under a minute to go in the half.
Great stuff here for you from Sunny Slope High School. You know, Bob, we picked this game, about a week and a half or so ago? I think we did all right.
Yep. Kind of hard to go wrong. Kind of hard to go wrong with these two programs and these two coaches. Okay, so
another touch shot there for Darius Wobington.
He really likes that right-handed jump hook. I think you need to sit on his left shoulder and make him go the other way.
Tigers moving around. A crease. Quincy Everson. Hang and hit for Everson. And the Tigers back to within 2 now. 5 seconds here. All the way to the rim goes Delton Prescott. And that's how our first half will end.
Good job by Millennium not fouling and sending them to the line there when the Sunny Slope driver was a bit out of control. Good basketball, good game.
Great game so far here. Half of basketball is in the books. The Sunny Slope Vikings leading the visiting Millennium Tigers 32-30. We'll step aside, let you enjoy the halftime festivities inside Dan Mannix Gymnasium, and we'll be back with you here in just under 10 minutes for half number 2. Stay with us here on the Epic Sports Network. Second half action coming up after the break.
I know.
32-30 our scores. We welcome you back inside Dan Mannix Gymnasium here in Phoenix on the campus of Sunnyslope High School. James Spoovy coming to you live alongside my broadcast partner tonight, Mr. Bob Fredericks. Coach, a tightly contested first half. We've seen some really good basketball, some great fundamental basketball. What can we expect to see here in this second half of play?
I think you're going to see Millennium try to get out on the break even more. Sometimes that's difficult when Sunnyslope it has basically good shot selection. You can get out on the break when another team takes some quick, ill-advised shots. I think that's what they want to do, but Sunnyslope's got to open the door for them a little bit.
We are underway here in half number 2. Tigers with the basketball. They move it around the perimeter.
Notice the beautiful defense there, the collapse on the bottom player and double team him there. And then good offense, too, swinging the ball around.
Cameron Holmes goes up, drops it down through the net.
That'll cause you to scratch your head as a coach. You play good defense, the other team runs some offense, they're running out of shot clock time, and you have a 3 well guarded, and it still goes in.
He is just so tough to defend, Coach. Traveling violation, so it'll be a turnover. Tigers basketball now.
That's what good players do. Team defense and defensive strategy is great, but players that know how to score figure it out.
Everson gets it in now. Millennium brings it across midcourt. They lead by 1. Hand off to Holmes. He gets some space. Drops it through the well, and a little paint work there for Cameron Holmes as he puts the Tigers up 3 now here just inside our third quarter of action.
5-point run for Millennium there. Notice that on that exchange at the top there, the Sunnyslope player is the third man through. He can't catch up in time, and the shot goes down. He's got to try to hustle, follow footsteps over the top of that screen exchange.
Ryder Portello working hard there at the right block. Goes up, gets his own rebound, and then he'll pick up the contact. And looks like he'll go to the line right here. TJ Amundsen with a foul for Millennium.
All of Sunnyslope's players, particularly Portello 15 and Wobbington 21 and Parmley 23, just have great footwork in the post, so they're usually going to score or draw a foul in there.
Portella knocks it through.
And he is a very good free throw shooter. I don't have his season free throw percentage with me. He's averaging 12.5 a game, but I do remember that from watching him last year. He's just, you don't want to put him on the line.
He goes up and makes it look easy twice there for the Vikings. And the Sunnyslope Vikings now trailing by 1 here. Millennium brings it across. Amundsen hands it off to Cameron Holmes. Stolen away there by number 3, Delton Prescott. They get up quickly to the Vikings.
Sunnyslope
Ryder Portello tries to go up, and he is fouled.
Sunnyslope guarded the exchange a little tighter, hustling over the top that time, and sure enough, they caused the turnover. The time before, they went behind everything and gave up a little pull-up jump shot. And here's Portello back at the line. I just got done talking about his effectiveness as a free throw shooter.
Ryder Portella ties it up there with 6:34 remaining here in our third quarter. So glad he's joined us tonight on the Epic Sports Network. Once again, a shout out to Huddle as well as StreamYard for the technology allowing tonight's broadcast to take place. Of course, we'll find folks over at YouTube as well, right, Bob?
4 free throws in a row by Portello. None of them hit anything orange, only things that are white and nylon.
The Tigers moving around now. Quincy Everson now. Amundsen from the left wing. Portello with a rebound up ahead quickly. Wobbington inside. Now they retreat a little bit. Then a top of the key 3 off front iron there from Ryder Portella. Delton Prescott now on the left wing. And whistles and a foul, says our AIA officiating crew.
Again, a quality post up there. Number 21, Wobbington, draws the foul just because he's fundamentally posting up strong, big and wide, and getting his rear end down onto the thighs of the defender, causing the defender to lean over and do the foul. But something's going the other way now. Yeah, illegal screen.
An illegal screen with 6:07 remaining here in the third.
Years ago, that illegal screen was a point of emphasis in officiating. Whenever you get those national point of emphasis, it's going to get called a lot. I just feel like that gets called a lot, and sometimes I'm not sure what's illegal about the screen.
Working on the perimeter now. Drive it inside to kick it back out. Tigers with nice ball movement there. Off back iron and won't go. Ryder Portello with a rebound. Up the floor. He'll hang and score it off the window. Count the basket and the foul for Ryder Portella.
So he's got 4 free throws, a field goal, and he's going back to the line. That's 6 points, unless I'm forgetting something, and we're only a few minutes into the third quarter. So that's putting some points up in a hurry.
No doubt about it. Number 15 at the stripe for Coach Portella. Knocks it down.
Just the kind of player that coaches like, just fundamentally sound, gets a break at the basket, makes the layup, goes to the free throw line, makes 5 in a row. Free throws and layups win games. It seems simple, but a lot of players don't do them well.
Higuera with it, hands off to Cam Holmes. Holmes is guarded there by Simmons. Now baseline drive there from Amundsen, stolen away. Up the floor now comes number 3, Delton Prescott.
Those passes off the move, when the player can't step towards the pass, those are the ones that get jumped. Got to be careful about those.
Prescott gets it into the corner to Ryder Portella. Now they work it down inside to Cade Snyder.
Another strong post up, but as he turned, they called him for the offensive foul.
Offensive foul there on Cade Snyder.
Okay, I'm not saying it's a bad call. I'm not sure the defender was hit hard enough to fall to the floor that much. He might be working on his acting career a little bit.
There always has to be a future after the game is over, right, Coach?
Yeah. Well, you are taught that when somebody turns into you and you get bumped and you're falling down, you really sell it and make it look like a charge. So
Sunnyslope checking it in tonight's contest with a 13-8 mark. They're 3-1 in the 6A Central.
Okay, so I do want to comment on that. 13-8 looks kind of average, but they're far from average. They've played 4 of the top 25 teams in the country and 6 of the top 100. Both these teams have challenged themselves with interstate tournaments and out-of-state tournaments, and that's what prepares them for state tournament action late in the year.
A right corner triple for the Tigers. Now they trail by 1. Delton Prescott gives way to Christian Simmons. And they'll dribble it around. Ryder Portella gets it inside now. Cade Snyder finishes it with the assist from Ryder Portella. 4.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. 41-38 Sunnyslope. Right hand off the glass there for Millennium's Kingston Tosi.
Didn't get enough help from his teammate. Teammate next to him needs to come over and go toe-to-toe with the defender to keep that player from getting to the hoop.
Washington goes cross court to Christian Simmons, and Simmons knocks down a 3 from the right wing.
These are very good high school basketball teams.
Kingston Tosi now over to Amundsen. Up and down with the right hand for Higuera. Back to Higuera. Guarded there by Washington. They move it around. Cam Holmes now just inside the arc. Now top of the key for Quincy Everson. Off back iron. Ryder Portella with a hustle. Goes back to the Tigers. Inside. And they call a blocking foul.
See if they call that on the floor or the basket's good. Looks like the basket's good and we're shooting 1.
Foul assessed to Cade Snyder.
So
Kingston Tosi will shoot for the Tigers.
Now that play was preceded by Sunnyslope saving the ball into the Millennium scoring area. Try to teach players not to save the ball under the other team's basket. Now, granted, that wasn't directly under the basket, it was off on the side, but I think Sunnyslope would have been well advised there to either take the ball out of bounds or try to chuck it the other way. But when you throw it into that area, something bad can happen, and that's what happened.
Sounds like the classic law of averages, right, Coach? Where if the bad things that can happen outweigh the good things, let's not do that.
Yeah, right. There's like there's hustling and saving the ball, but you got to know where you're at on the court geography. Saving the ball in the other team's scoring area usually doesn't end up well.
First one won't fall for Kingston Tosi. 3:36 remaining here in our third quarter. Sunnyslope with a 4-point lead. That one trickles over the front and falls through.
Millennium showing some full court pressure here. 2-2-1 press. Almost jumped that pass, but missed it barely.
Simmons was able to get it across midcourt. Now up and down with the right hand, it's Ryder Portella.
You know, Portella is like a point guard at forward. He just reads the floor and gets his team into the proper offensive set. He's just a smart basketball player with great fundamentals.
Hillis on the right side now. Top of the key now for Darius Wabbington. Delton Prescott inside the arc. Elevates at the free throw line. Unable to connect, and Cameron Holmes brings it up the floor now for Millennium. Amundsen inside, down low. They try to feed it. He's trying to find Quincy Everson down there.
Great job of taking the ball into the middle area and then fanning it out.
Nice job from the right elbow there from Christian Simmons. And then the Tigers answer on the other end with a 3 from TJ Amundsen.
46-44.
On the floor. A 2-point ball game with 2:34 remaining here in our third quarter. We got a good one for you here tonight from Dan Mannix Gymnasium in Phoenix. Stay with us. More third quarter action coming up next right here on the Epic Sports Network.
Every body is different. Some get injured while others wear down. At Ortho Arizona, your unique condition is at the center of what we do. With over 20 locations and 70 physicians in the Valley, we offer orthopedic procedures, therapy, and athletic performance for the most important reason of all, getting you back to an active, pain-free life. Ortho Arizona, your destination for quality orthopedic care since 1994.
2 minutes and 34 seconds remaining here in our third quarter as we welcome you back to Sunnyslope High School in Phoenix. James Spoovy alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Bob Fredericks tonight. And Coach, a tight one here. 2 really good coach teams playing really good basketball, and this is exactly what you want to dial up on a Thursday night in January.
Impressive by Sunnyslope, but what you would expect from that team, that program, and in that gym. They gave up the first 5 points of the quarter, and then all of a sudden they just make play after play, basic, fundamentally sound plays, and score at the free throw line and under the basket and have the lead again.
Portella brings it across midcourt.
Fouls on number 1, Damian Castro, his second 15 foul.
Damian Castro with the foul for Millennium.
So now we go to the new bonus situation, 2 shots. To probably the best free throw shooter on the floor, although I don't have all their stats. He hasn't missed yet tonight.
Coach, go ahead and break down that new bonus situation for us you were speaking about a minute ago.
Well, it's 2 years now, but it used to be after the 7th foul and a half, you're in a 1-on-1. Now it's 5 fouls in the quarter, automatically to 2 shots, and they clear out at the end of the quarter. It certainly makes the games go quicker because you don't have the parade of 1-on-1s at the end. I do think it also detracts a bit from the ability to force teams to foul you late in the game and hold a lead.
Okay. Ryder Portella puts the Vikings up by 4 here.
Whatever the foul rules are is when Ryder gets to the free throw line, he scores.
Cameron Holmes with an attempt, falls shy. Christian Simmons with a rebound. Up the floor come the Vikings. Christian Simmons back over to Delton Prescott now on the left wing. That was Cade Snyder. Now a right wing triple from Christian Simmons bounces out. And it'll be a turnover, Millennium basketball. 1:58 remaining here in the third.
Ryder Portella has at least 6 made free throws in this quarter. I think in a huddle, Coach Amundsen needs to say, whatever you do out there, unless we're in a desperate situation we have to, don't foul number 15. He's too good at the free throw line.
Up the floor come the Tigers. Kingston Tosi brings it across midcourt.
Check out the holding up at the top of the key there. Getting away with some physical contact.
It's getting a little chippy out there, Coach. JT Amundsen from the right wing bounces off back iron. And elevating for the rebound was Delton.
Vikings fouls called on 25 Owen Hillis, his first 14 foul.
Owen Hillis with a foul there for Sunnyslope. And we see number 21, Darius Wobington, returning to the lineup here for Sunnyslope.
Let's see what they got for a blob, as coaches call them, baseline out of bounds play.
The old blob.
Usually does go back to the inbounder, and that's what happened there. Don't lose the inbounder.
From the right elbow was Adrian Higuera, falling shy, unfortunately, for Millennium. Vikings back up the floor now. They lead by 4 here. 1:20 and counting here in the third quarter.
Everybody has blobs and slobs on their practice card. Baseline inbounds plays and sideline inbounds plays.
They feed it inside Ryder Portella. How about that?
Okay.
To Darius Wobington with the finish.
That's as old as basketball there, the high-low with your bigs. Throw it over the top from the one big at the high post and the other one at the low post.
Down low there for the Millennium Tigers, Adrian Higuera.
Sunnyslope vacated the defensive post unnecessarily. Didn't need 2 guys running out at the shooter, leaving an easy shot inside for Millennium.
Nearly poked away there by Kingston Tosi. Vikings with a 3-point attempt from the right side. That was Nash Parmalee. Now we have a whistle.
I think I would have liked to see Sunnyslope shoot earlier in that possession and get a 2-for-1 with the 35-second shot clock. But they shot late in the possession, would have enabled Millennium to run the clock down a bit on them, but didn't really matter. They fouled in the backcourt, put somebody on the line. Now, that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to foul when the bonus situation is there after 5 fouls, because the guy was 90 feet from the basket. Now he gets to take a free throw.
Kingston Tosi knocks down the first one. As we see number 4, Christian Simmons, check back in here for Sunnyslope. That one trickles home as well.
Very interesting. I think Sunnyslope had a very good quarter, yet they only have a 2-point lead. Little half-court trap.
Along the baseline, that was Nash Parmalee, now back outside. And a little bit of a reset here now. Dalton Prescott resets things on the offense.
They're playing for the last shot. They don't want to give Millennium another possession.
Prescott cut into the basket. He'll score it. And put the Vikings up by 4 here. Loose ball at midcourt. That one right under the right foot of Coach Ty Amundsen.
Coach was open, but you're not allowed to pass it to him.
Ryder Portella will inbound it now. 4.2 seconds. They'll have to hurry.
They're not picking up the ball.
From the logo. And we've played 3 quarters of basketball here inside Dan Maddox Gymnasium in Phoenix on the campus of Sunnyslope High School. Stay with us. We'll take a brief commercial timeout and return for 4th quarter action right here on the Epic Sports Network. Stay with us. More coming up right after the break.
On game day, communication is everything. Procom offers the most powerful, most reliable headsets on the market. Paired with our state-of-the-art coach-to-player communication tools, your team is sure to dominate. It's time to communicate like a pro. Visit us at procomheadsets.com.
Have you had the craving for the best burrito anywhere? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Burrito Express, your local burrito joint. Come on in.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Burrito Express.
With 7 Valley locations and a new South Chandler location opening soon, your new favorite burrito is just right around the corner. Burrito Express, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona.
52-48 our score as we welcome you back. 4th quarter about to commence here on the Epic Sports Network. James Poovey coming to you live alongside my broadcast partner tonight, 7-time state champion head coach Bob Fredericks. Coach, a great game, 4 points. It's still anyone's 4th quarter here as we get things started.
Let's see what team can attack the hoop early in the early in the quarter, maybe putting themselves at the free throw line late in the quarter. That would be an advantage, or get hot from behind the arc.
Simmons gives way to Delton Prescott. Washington now feeds it inside.
How about that?
And under for Delton Prescott. Finish with a right hand.
Great cut. Take a dribble at your teammate. That's a signal to him to dive to the basket. Defender looks at the dribbler for a moment, and he's gone at the basket, gets the pass, puts it in with the reverse layup.
Cam Holmes gives way to Higuera. Now they move it along the right corner. Tosi. Back outside it goes. JT Amundsen for three. Won't stick. Rebounded by Christian Simmons. Here comes the Sunnyslope Vikings.
Sunnyslope in a good place right now. See what they do with this possession.
Delton Prescott. Washington down low. He is accosted there, you would say, by Kingston Tosi. And a battle along the baseline under the hoop right there, Coach.
Just called out of bounds, though, on Sunnyslope. And Sunnyslope got the ball in a good place with a 6-point lead and turned it over. So that's the kind of open door that Millennium needs. They're not out of the game by any stretch of imagination, but to cut that lead a little bit, make this thing very competitive down the stretch.
7 minutes remaining here in our fourth quarter. Millennium trailing by 6. They need to start chipping away at that here shortly. Down inside, spin back outside. Amundsen loses the handle. Ryder Portella up ahead. Christian Simmons. Simmons takes it all the way to the baseline. Loses the handle. Cameron Holmes now right down the middle. He'll switch hands and finish.
Takes on 2 players and gets to the hoop.
Cameron Holmes. Just over 6 minutes remaining here in our fourth quarter. A 4-point lead for the Vikings. Nice looking crowd on hand as well tonight inside the Dan Mannix Gymnasium. Off the window, Washington. And Cameron Holmes with a rebound. Up ahead quickly to Damon Castro. Now it's back to Damian Castro. He'll reset as we're under 6 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Amundsen, long range, in front of the bench, knocks it down.
Back to a 1-point game. He does have great range and a quick release. He's been doing that for several years.
Great looking shot there for JT Amundsen. 5.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth.
As I said at the outset of the broadcast, watch for Millennium's fast break game and their perimeter shooting. Usually Ty's teams are good at those 2 things.
Christian Simmons feeds it down inside to Ryder Portella. Portella elevates and he is fouled.
Number 5, JT Amundsen, his third.
JT Amundsen picking up his third foul of the night.
Okay, I don't want to jinx Ryder, but I've seen nothing but net on every one of his free throws. Don't think you can afford to put him at the line.
He is not one of those guys you want to have up there, especially in crunch time here. We got a 1-point ball game.
You certainly want him there if you're wearing white tonight.
Vikings up 2 here now. 5:18 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
I'm not keeping his points, but he's had a nice half.
Ryder Portella one more time.
Oh, finally hit some rim and missed one. We'll let him go 7 for 8 or 9 for 10. That's pretty good.
2-point game as we approach 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Cameron Holmes on the right wing. Guarded there by Christian Simmons. Holmes gives way to Adrian Higuera. Near side now, Quincy Everson fires from deep. Rebounded by Washington.
Sunnyslope's help principles are so good that they're in a man-to-man, but it can appear to look like a zone that they're cheating towards the ball so much.
Darius Washington, left wing triple for the Vikings. And the lead swells to 5 with 4:38 remaining here in the fourth. 58-53 Sunnyslope.
When your 6'10 player posts you up the way he does and then hits that 3, that's a tough stop right there. That's a very good high school player.
We'll take a commercial timeout and return for more fourth quarter action. You are watching the Hoop Game of the Week right here on the Epic Sports Network. Stay with us. We're back to Sunnyslope after this.
On game day, communication is everything. Procom offers the most powerful, most reliable headsets on the market. Paired with our state-of-the-art coach-to-player communication tools, your team is sure to dominate. It's time to communicate like a pro. Visit us at procomheadsets.com.
We welcome you back to Dan Mannix Gymnasium. The Sunnyslope Vikings hosting the Millennium Tigers from Goodyear. A 5-point ball game. 58-53, the home Vikings lead with 4.5 minutes. And a lot of exciting basketball ahead here, Coach, in this next couple of minutes.
Neither team in any kind of foul trouble. Neither team destined to go to the line on the bonus yet. Millennium, explosive scoring team, so 5-point deficit is nothing, but they got to make the most of possessions. You can't take bad shots or turn it over.
Higuera back to Amundsen. Amundsen directs traffic. They'll hand it off to Cameron Holmes. Holmes back to Higuera. Now into the right corner. Higuera from the right wing. Bounces off. Rebounded nicely there by Sunnyslope's Cade Snyder.
Got to make sure you block out like Kay did, because if you don't, the next day it shows up in the film room, and that's not fun.
Washington hands it off. Delton Prescott working in the paint. Bodies a defender. Loses the handle. And Prescott a little slow to get up there, but he looks to be okay as the Vikings will turn it over back to the Millennium Tigers.
Coach Portell's working the ref over there saying, like, come on, he's all over my guy. No wonder we turned it over.
3:50 and counting here. Turnover. Tosi loses the handle. Up and in. Count the basket. Cade Snyder.
Big sequence in the game right there.
Third foul of the night for Kingston Tosi. And now Sunnyslope. They're going to try to pull away with it right here, Coach. Cade Snyder at the stripe here for the Vikings. Cameron Holmes also talking things over with the officials there on top of the logo.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has something to say there, but basically 2 Millennium players sort of ran into each other on that last possession, turned it over in the dangerous part of the court, give up a basket on the other side. You can't do that when you're trying to make a small comeback. Not a big comeback here, but you can't lose possessions on unnecessary turnovers.
Tosi. A scramble for the ball there in front of the Sunnyslope bench.
Vikings fouls on 24, Cade Snyder, his third. First team foul.
Third foul of the night on Cade Snyder now for Sunnyslope.
Yeah, I didn't really see what that was, but
Amundsen puts it back into play. Up the floor it comes now for the Tigers. Adrian Higuera. They move it around. Amundsen, Higuera. Whistles.
Fouls on number 24, Cade Snyder, his fourth.
Fourth foul of the night on Cade Snyder.
25, Owen Ellis returns for the Vikings.
Owen Hillis back into the lineup here for Sunnyslope.
Non-shooting foul.
A non-shooting foul, so Cameron Holmes will inbound it here. Cross court now from Amundsen. Damian Castro. Higuera gives way, stolen away now by number 3, Delton Prescott. And Prescott will go all the way to the rim.
points over off of turnovers.
And how about Delton Prescott, coach? 5'11", just a sophomore. And he is quite shifty.
Shifty, quick hands, finishes at the basket. Right now, the last few possessions are either mistakes by Millennium or heady defense by Sunnyslope, leading to turnovers and baskets on the other end. That's a way to build a lead. That's the way to prevent a comeback.
We are inside 3 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Amundsen from deep, he knocks it down.
See, that's the thing. When he's on the floor, even if you have a couple bad sequences, he knocks down a three and gets you right back in the hunt.
62-56 with 2:48 remaining here in the fourth. We'll step aside and take a brief commercial timeout. You are watching 6A basketball here. The hoop game of the week right here on the Epic Sports Network. Stay with us. We'll be back to Dan Mannix Gymnasium right after this.
Every body is different. Some get injured while others wear down. At Ortho Arizona, your unique condition is at the center of what we do. With over 20 locations and 70 physicians in the Valley, we offer orthopedic procedures, therapy, and athletic performance for the most important reason of all, getting you back to an active, pain-free life. Ortho Arizona, your destination for quality orthopedic care since 1994.
On game day, communication is everything. Procom offers the most powerful, most reliable headsets on the market. Paired with our state-of-the-art coach-to-player communication tools, your team is sure to dominate. It's time to communicate like a pro. Visit us at procomheadsets.com.
2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter as we welcome you back to Sunnyslope High School in Phoenix. 62-56, James Poovey alongside my broadcast partner, Coach Bob Fredericks. They get it into Ryder Portella.
Notice how Sunnyslope breaks that press by flashing their big into the middle of the court. He's an easy target. He fans it out to ball handlers, and good things happen. But then they turn it over after they've broken the press.
Amundsen from the left wing knocks it down in front of the Millennium bench.
Okay,
And
so
you talked about it, Coach. This guy's deadly.
Right. 30 seconds ago, it looked like the game was slipping away from Millennium, but you leave him open twice from way out there, and it's a one-possession game again.
2 minutes and 21 seconds remaining here in our fourth quarter. We're going to keep it right here. Vikings 62 and the visiting Millennium Tigers 59. What are you saying to your bench right now if you're Coach Ty Amundsen and getting them to just continue this momentum they've had here in this last 30 seconds or so?
Possess every loose ball with two hands. Drive the basket. Don't shy away from the contact. Try to get to the free throw line. And if my son is open on the perimeter, give him the ball.
And vice versa, what are you saying if you're Coach Portella right now to help your team to stay calm, keep their poise, and try to maintain this lead and close this thing out?
Let's have a couple quality possessions, probably built around their inside-out game where their posts can go high-low and throw it down to one another or fan it out to a shooter. Just take your time and make sure you get a quality shot with every possession or draw a foul.
Dalton Prescott and Christian Simmons bring it across now. And then Owen Hillis into the ball game here. He gets it across ultimately for Sunnyslope.
There's a ton of whistles here, and I don't know what happened there.
24, Cade Snyder into the Vikings lineup.
Cade Snyder checking in now for Sunnyslope.
Side inbounds play. Watch somebody break to the backcourt for safety here, or maybe somebody to the basket. There we go.
They get it into Ryder Portella.
Good guy to have the ball in his hand right now, because if you put him on the line, he's going to score. Strong post up. They have an advantage right there.
Wobbington finishes with a right-hand hook.
Again, you can't let him go to that side. You got to sit on his left shoulder and make him go the other way.
He's just
so
too
good
comfortable.
at that. Yeah, he's just very good with the jump hook with the right hand.
Cameron Holmes waits for the defense to fly by and just drops it right over the front edge of the rim.
And again, every time Millennium might make a mistake on one end, they can make it up with great perimeter shooting on the other end.
Cade Snyder under a little pressure there. It gives way to Dalton Prescott.
Look at this matchup in the post right now.
Wobbington down low. He was working against number one for Millennium, Damian Castro.
Now, sometimes those smaller guards can guard effectively in the post, but I don't think that's the matchup that Coach Amundsen wanted. And I don't think Sunnyslope picked it up quick enough.
2-point ball game here with 1:22 remaining in regulation. Wobbington hands off to number 3, Delton Prescott. Prescott takes it inside, now spins back toward the basket. They'll give way to Ryder Portella out on the right wing.
Yeah, and I think Sunnyslope doing a little 35-second division here and trying to figure out how many possessions they would like to get in the remainder of the game and how many they want to keep Millennium from getting.
Portella drops it off. And what a play there from Cade Snyder. Put it up, got his own rebound, and then got a putback.
Really big. Sunnyslope does not want to put them on the line and let Millennium score with the clock off.
And they will foul Cameron Holmes right there.
But that doesn't hurt them. They have a foul to give and around the perimeter. It just does take away a little bit of their flexibility moving forward. Any foul from now on is 2 shots.
Damian Castro will put it back into play here for Millennium. 66-62. Cameron Holmes down low. Higuera back to Holmes. Back to Higuera along the baseline. He'll elevate at the right block, bounce it off the window, and count the basket.
Very nice. Here we are again. 2-point game.
Unbelievable. 28.3 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Quick commercial timeout, and we'll return for the final of this fourth quarter from Dan Mannix Gymnasium in Phoenix.
On game day, communication is everything. Procom offers the most powerful, most reliable headsets on the market. Paired with our state-of-the-art coach-to-player communication tools, your team is sure to dominate. It's time to communicate like a pro. Visit us at procomheadsets.com.
A 2-point ball game as we welcome you back to Sunnyslope High School in Phoenix. The Hoop Game of the Week on the air here on the Epic Sports Network. Special thanks to my broadcast partner, Mr. Bob Fredericks. Bob, we've had a great game here tonight, but this one is going to come down to possibly the final possession.
Sunnyslope's possession up 2, shot clock turned off. I think Coach Portella is saying, look, guys, unless it's a layup, we don't shoot it. We make them foul us twice. And it's not going to leave Millennium with many choices. So Sunnyslope's got to avoid a turnover, which Millennium will try to create with their press right here.
Sure.
Then they probably don't need to shoot again and just make Millennium foul them and do what they've done the whole night, shoot about 80% from the free throw line, and they should get a win at home. But strange things happen at the end of basketball games.
Christian Simmons trying to put it back into play here for Sunnyslope. He gets it in, cross midcourt now.
And there's the first foul taken because they pretty much have to. And they can't allow Sunnyslope to run the clock down, so they'll likely foul again pretty soon. They want to try to not foul Portello because he's just too good at the line, but they might not have a choice.
Christian Simmons gets it into Delton Prescott.
And indeed, they foul right away. I don't know what his free throw percentage is. He's tied for their leading scorer on the year, so obviously he's a good shooter, but I don't want to put Portello on the line, so this might be a good choice. Let's see what happens here.
That one bounces off for Prescott.
There you go. It enables at least a tie or an opportunity for a winning shot, depending on what happens with this free throw.
22.2 seconds.
Ty got his kids to do what they needed to do. They needed to foul reasonably quick twice and try to exchange missed free throws for field goals on the other side.
Prescott
Chance
knocks that one down.
Chance to tie and put it into overtime and keep us up a little later.
That's right.
We don't have to travel far to get home, though, do we?
Oh, yeah, that's the best part, isn't it?
All right.
I'll be in the kitchen in about 4.5 seconds. Cameron Holmes goes up.
So smart by Sunnyslope there. They take the foul because they're up 3, and 2 free throws doesn't hurt them. They didn't want to give up a three-pointer. The Millennium player tried to throw up a 3 and fake like it was in the process of going when the foul took place, but it wasn't. Okay, so smart job by the Sunnyslope players, listening to their coach. 2 free throws still makes you 1 point short. I would expect Millennium will foul right away and try to hope for missed free throws on one end for a desperation shot or a jump shot of some kind on the other side.
8.8 seconds remaining here in our fourth quarter. Cameron Holmes at the line here for the Millennium Tigers.
Okay, I expect a foul early. There it is.
There it is. 0.8 seconds is all it took.
Now, Wobbington is a quality player that has a big basketball future. I'm going to try to break Portello to the ball since he's been so effective at the line tonight, but we'll see what Darius gets done at the free throw line.
We shall see. Number 21 up there. I've been picking him out all night, Bob, with those kicks. That's
there we
how
go.
I'm finding Wobbington on the floor here tonight.
Leaves the door open for a possible Millennium winning three-point shot.
My goodness. Knocks the second one in.
Let's see how they guard this one.
8 seconds to go. They bring it up. Cameron Holmes. He'll hang. Try to go off the window. Looks for the foul.
Yeah, I was kind of following the ball there. I don't know if he should have got it or not.
Coach Amundsen obviously visually upset right there. And it looks like our video might be.
Yeah, we got a little buffering in a screen here. I'm kind of thinking Sunnyslope's got it done, but gee, not a good time for the screen to freeze.
Let's see if we can refresh this right quick. Possibly the worst time ever for the screen to refresh, Coach. Let's see here. I think we
as I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now.
I think we can recover from this here. Watch this. Let's hope we haven't missed much, if anything. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So they call that your disaster recovery 101 right there. We got back up and running. All is not lost. We didn't lose any game time there, Bob. Here we go. 6 seconds to go. Cameron Holmes.
Okay, so we know he takes that shot. I did not see a foul there.
Takes the shot. Coach Amundsen wants the foul. Said it looked like it was on the elbow.
Which would have given him three free throws and a chance to win the game, but I didn't see anything there.
And I do not know why the broadcast keeps freezing up at the same moment. Boy, wouldn't this be unfortunate. Let's see if we can get this up here one more time.
0.3 of a second. I don't. Okay, so I don't think it's possible for Millennium to get the ball back with 0.3 of a second. So the game should be decided. Okay, let's watch it again and see if there is a foul. No foul. He ran around him.
So it looks like maybe it'll stay with us this time here, Coach.
Yep, I think we're past where it broke down on us.
Number 5, J.T. Amundsen is fifth. That's the limit.
TJ Amundsen picks up his 5th foul of the night. And it sounds like Coach Amundsen also picking up a foul there as well. So as you mentioned, Coach, this one should be pretty much wrapped up with 0.3 seconds remaining here on the clock. Vikings with a 2-point lead.
Particularly with 2 free throws in a possession. Should be over.
Now we'll get that crowd sound down to we'll call it manageable level. Ryder Portella puts that one through, extending the Vikings lead now to 3, 69-66.
I think he's going to have at least 10 free throw attempts tonight, and I only remember 1 miss. You shoot 90% at the line, your team's going to win most of the games.
Ryder Portela puts it through. 70-66 now. So possibly one more here for Portela.
Yeah, I think it's academic at this point. Sunnyslope made more plays down the stretch, and just great free throw shooting as a team, particularly Portello. Good job of neutralizing the few times that Millennium tried to turn them over with a press, breaking their big to the middle. He's made all the right moves. These two teams play later in the playoffs. The result could be different, but well-played game by both, with Sunnyslope making a few more plays and just being super effective at the line.
Great stuff tonight from Sunnyslope High School in Phoenix, and it looks like our video has gone final here for us. So thanks for everyone for joining us. Once again, the final score, at least we believe, of this one will end up Sunnyslope 70.
Probably 71.
Possibly 71, because Ryder Portela looks pretty confident there. You mentioned that he only saw one that didn't go through for Ryder Portela all night long. And Coach Portela has done an amazing job over with the Vikings. And once again, this season, Coach, they're going to be a threat and some kind of problem for a lot of teams in the playoffs.
And they're young. They're going to be around a while.
Absolutely, they are. Thank you so much for joining us. The Vikings win 70-66 or 71-66 over the Millennium Tigers. For my broadcast partner, Coach Bob Fredericks, I'm James Poovey saying so long, have a great night, and we will talk to you again very soon. Don't forget, February Frenzy coming up right around the corner, and make sure and stay with us. Tune into Epic Sports TV on Twitter so you can follow us there, and we'll let you know about any upcoming broadcasts. Have a great night, folks, and we will talk to you again soon.